My microphone was off for a second. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Super Mardiman Maker levels, and potentially could be the last episode due to Kappa, but that being said, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So, I made another level for you guys, and this one is definitely beatable. You cannot lose this one unless you're a total idiot, but yeah, let's see here. Oh, okay, alright. So let's go ahead and look at our maker profile, and let's take a look at the upload courses, and let's take a look how the other ones go. This one, absolute failure. No one has ever beaten this level, but someone did leave a like, which means it's staying up here, so I guess it's somewhat of a good plus. The rest of these levels, of course, getting somewhat unique and popular and everything else. Okay. And we're going to look at our next level, which is called Luigi Survives by Doing Nothing. I just uploaded it yesterday, so not a lot of clears is done on it, but also what's weird is that 20 people somehow died to this thing. It shouldn't be difficult. This is a tribute to the YouTube series Luigi Wins by Doing Absolutely Nothing. So, let's go ahead and get right into it, and as you can clearly see, the thumbnail of this level is titled Yeet. Figure I fit that in as well. And also the world record holder is 16 seconds. The fun thing about automatics is that it's always fun to figure out a way to like fast forward the entire process and just beat it in all in one go if you could. So maybe I'll try to figure out how he did it, but other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at how this automatic works. And well, give me 1 second. I'm also gonna include a camera cam as well. So you guys have to give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to pause this for a moment, and I'm gonna show you guys my camera cam on my controller. Alrighty, guys. So I have right here the controller, of course. So let's go ahead and play this level. And I'm not gonna press any single button. I'm not pressing anything, and you can go ahead and view the entire level for yourself right here. I'm not pressing anything. So as you can see, how the entire level plays out, all you gotta do is just not press a single button and you're good to go. Just let the level play itself. As you can see, I'm not pressing anything. And this is also live footage. See here. And just let it play out. Also, the timer is also really tight. See how it goes right there. It is real time, boys. It is real time. By the way, there's also a clear condition. I just cleared it, and I really hope you saw how it happened. It's due to this thing right up there. Just let the automatic play out. And look at the timer. With 1 second to spare, we just completed the level. And I didn't touch a single button. Cool idea. Well, thank you, Snowfall. If you can beat 16 seconds, it's definitely a good challenge. If you can get any higher than this, it's definitely full dedication. Anyways, let's go ahead and finally, get right into the next bit, which is showing, how this level is made, of course. Alright, so let's look at the failure points. See what spots did the players just die or somewhat. So, obviously, people's first intuition is, of course, to run right. So let's see what happens. Let's see where all the death points are located. Okay, let's see. Okay, someone died to the buzzsaw. I want to save, like, either a, slight movement, or what. But it's really, all you have to do is just not press a single button, that's all. But let's see here, anybody else who dies up here? No, it seems like most of the death perception is on this saw blade. I wonder how they died. Maybe he's trying to speedrun to get to the far right? I have no idea. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start off how I start to figure this out. So, obviously, you want to make sure that your player does start to jump off the leap of faith to the right. So the only way to do that is to put, like, a cannon right here, a red cannon, and then shoot a vertical spring that way. And I can't put it right here because there's a multiplayer barrier right there. So it pushes me and then onto this little trail. I thought I made too many of these. And then, of course, it just keeps circling me around. And as it keeps circling me around, these springs right here keeps changing. One way, they'll just send me to the far back. And then the next lap, they'll send me forward. And then the next lap, they'll just send me off. And then onto the seesaw. Now, I have a lot of issues trying to get this thing to work. But, overall, I have to, like, make sure that, that the springs also doesn't hold up the seesaw either, otherwise it'll be unaffected, while at the same time, I also make sure if I do fall, I activate the thwomp and then launch up here. So that's why I have these little bit of those beams up here, just in case. To, like, prevent these, and also this spring over here as well. And then, of course, we got this little track here. And, originally, I was trying to, see what I can do from there. And then I decided, okay, let's just add this little block here. But then when I did that, then Luigi will just fall through here. So that's why I added this little skeleton here to lynch me up here, and then just make me land here. Now, here's the thing. It also lands me on the edge right here, and I go up. We'll talk more about the hazards later, because I had to basically, first things foremost, had to plan out how the level's gonna go. And then, so when I go all the way up, I'll be laying on the edge of this platform. And what my next goal is to make sure this cannon does hit, Luigi's shoes, so that way it will make me bounce off the platform, and then fall down, and then land here. Or land where the ice is, because I'm trying to make sure I make Luigi slide. But obviously there's like ways that wouldn't work. So here's how I did it. So I created a one-way door, so that way you'll land here and not go through it. And then I made a scripted spring to like push me. I had to make sure that the spring doesn't hit me here, because I want to make sure you activate almost every mechanic and do not slightly sequence break somewhere else. But anyways, you bounce off the spring, you slide on the ice. You land on this thing, and then jump, and then just bounce off the can, and then grab onto this claw, hoping to be picked up by this elevator. And after that, this is where things get really messy. So I was trying to make sure I got Luigi up to this little platform right here. So, as such, I figured I'm gonna need to activate this little spring here to make me jump a little bit. Also, while I'm doing it, while I stand right here, this little claw thing will activate. Now, the reason why I have this little activated is mainly because I want to activate the shell that will constantly activate the on and off switches. So that way, it will be like some terrifying, like, 50-50 chance of survival. Now, as such, when you do that, it just, the spring just falls down and then just goes to the left, and then lands here. But the good thing is, at least it doesn't affect me too much, although I'm gonna have to do a few measurements to make sure I land on this thing without being pushed by the spring. Then after that, it's all about trial and error, and it's also about, like, I did a few things to make it somewhat intense, one of which is adding a fast platform that makes it go by faster, and then also adjusting this where the shell constantly maintains the speed when constantly switching between the blue and red blocks. And it's all about trial and error here. I had to make it where you go up here instead of going down here. but also because this is an automatic and I had to start from basically the beginning and then just play for the entire course, I had to make sure this is exactly right. So again, I have to do it for here, and then up to here, then up to here. And then I also had a little bit of a fake out here, because you think you could use this to gain some leverage. No. Instead, you go this way, and then you just bounce off that spring, and then hopefully you bounce off of this little bumper right here, and then you fall down here. Originally, this thing's supposed to be right here, and it's supposed to go up, but then the trajectory on where I place the bumper pretty much changed where I wanted it to be, so I moved it to the left a little bit, then just make it go straight up. Once it does that, then I have to make sure that the spring does make me go through the wall, and I also had to make sure that the wall's correct where I'll go through it, because it looks really dangerous whether or not you'll go through it or not. 50-50 chance depending on how fast it's going. And yeah, so once I got like the path all corrected, now I have to go through the entire thing again, but to add hazards this time to make it more scary. So obviously I would include the sun, because who wonders if the sun will get you or not. Then I added a ton of Koopa Troopas, and as we can clearly see, they are placed in a random pattern, so that way they make sure they don't actually hurt me. Then when I went down here, I added this little bit of a boost circle, make sure that didn't hit me, and then this is where the scariest part comes in. So now I added these little bit of flame things, and the thing is, Luigi, if Luigi was standing in the directly in the middle right here, he would definitely get hurt by the flames. But luckily, where I placed, where the automatic placed him, just put him on the very tip of the iceberg, and like the flames just barely touching his nose, and it's not even affecting him. Really tight. Then, of course, down here, I decided to add some of course, some flame walls. So you circle around, and just make sure they barely hit Luigi. Just make sure they don't actually hit him, but it will barely hit him at all. And, this level was actually, as I started this level, I started discouraging on making it, but as I keep making progress, I didn't realize how much time I passed, and how much progress I made within this automatic. Another thing, I also adjusted the time limit to be 100 seconds, because apparently, and 100 seconds is a perfect balance. And when you get to here, you're like 1 second left from getting a time over. So yeah, it is a very tight time limit, and I think this is my very first level that I feel like I didn't forget anything to add. Oh yeah, one more thing. I added one last bit of detail because, well, I need something for the thumbnail of this level. So I went over here and I wrote yeet with some coins. It's a meme going on. So I figured, you know, I'll use this for the thumbnail of the level, of course. So anyways, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed my level. If you want to see more levels like this, make sure to let me know in the comments below. And, I don't know if I'll be able to show off my next level, considering Kappa, but we'll have to find out soon enough. And, as always, thank you all guys for watching, and as always, keep on gaming.